Welcome to Licking Heights Local Schools. This video will walk you through each required step to enroll your student in our district. Please complete each step entirely as it is required for your student to start school. If you are enrolling multiple students, you must complete this process for each one of them. If you require assistance from a translator to complete the enrollment process, please call the Licking Heights District Office at 740-927-6926 to set up an appointment. Before beginning the process, gather the following important documents. 1. Your student's original birth certificate, passport, I-94 card, permanent resident visa, or green card. 2. Your student's immunization records. 3. A report card, schedule of classes, or transcript clearly indicating your student's enrolled grades for the previous year. 4. If you are divorced, please provide divorce and custodial documentation. This must be court-signed and date and time stamped. 5. If your student has special learning needs, provide a current IEP or 504 plan. 6. Valid photo identification for both parents or legal guardians. 7. 2 proofs of residency from your current residence. This can include a deed or mortgage statement with your name listed, a residency affidavit, which can be found on the school website, or a current rental or lease agreement and a current utility bill, any government mailing, or a current pay stub. You will need all of these documents on hand while enrolling your student to complete forms. To start the process, go to www.licking-heights.k12.oh.us and hover over the Quick Links box in the top right-hand corner. Then click Enroll a Student. This will bring you to the enrollment homepage. Click the link that says Clicking Here. This link will take you to the required pre-registration form for your student. Fill out each section of the pre-registration form. Sections marked with a red star are required. Sections that you must complete include student information, which includes your student's name, date of birth, gender, and grade level, household information, which is the address at which you currently live with your student, school information, which is the school your student will attend in the Licking Heights district. If your student is entering grades 1 to 4, they will attend South or West Elementary based on where you live. To determine which school they will attend, click the link that says Licking Heights South and West Zones. Then look for the street where you live on the zone sheet. This will tell you which school your student will attend. You'll also need to provide parent and guardian information for your student, which includes name, relationship to the student, phone number, and email address. Special education questions, in case your child currently has an IEP or 504 plan for disabilities or special needs. If you currently have other students enrolled in the Licking Heights Local School District. If you do, you have the option to link all of your students together into one PowerSchool account. Then, after you've completed this form, click Submit. After you submit your pre-registration form, please allow between 24 to 48 hours for our district to review and approve your form. Once your form has been approved, you'll receive a step-by-step confirmation email with instructions on completing your student enrollment. This email includes steps to set up a PowerSchool account. You will use this PowerSchool account to complete your student's enrollment. The email you receive from the district will include an access ID and access password for your PowerSchool account. You will need this access ID and access password to create your account. To create your PowerSchool account, go to https://lhsd.powerschool.com/public. Then click on the Create Account tab. You can then enter your full name, your access ID, and your access password. Then you can link your student to your PowerSchool account. After creating your account, PowerSchool will send you a confirmation email to complete the account registration process. This confirmation email will arrive within 10 minutes and often will go to spam. So check your spam folder if you do not see it in your inbox. After verifying your PowerSchool account by clicking this link, you can go back to https://lhsd.powerschool.com/public and sign in to complete the required registration forms for your student. This process of filling out forms will take about 1 hour total to complete. Once logged into PowerSchool, click the Forms tab on the left-hand side of the screen. Here, you will see the enrollment forms and the general forms that you must complete to enroll your student. Start with Enrollment Form A, Student Demographics, Address, and Contacts. All sections marked with a red star on this form are required. Form A will ask you for general information about your student, including name, birthday, gender, grade level, race, and their address. Most of this information will carry over from the pre-registration form you initially filled out. Form A will also ask you to enter the names, addresses, and contact information of both parents, parent/guardian 1 and parent/guardian 2. Parent or guardian 1 will carry over from the pre-registration form, but must be edited to include additional information. Click Edit and fill in everything that is marked with a red star. Then move on to the parent or guardian questions. If there's a second parent or guardian for the student, you will be prompted to add the second parent or guardian. Click Add to add the second parent or guardian's information. In this section, you must also include which parent has custody of the student and the relationship status of the parents. Emergency contacts are required for student registration. Do not enter your student as an emergency contact. Emergency contacts must be a legal adult, like a parent, aunt, or grandmother in the student's family. Here's where the important documents listed at the start of this video come in. Licking Heights Local Schools requires a copy of each document to enroll your student. You must either scan and email all documents to the district registrar, Kelly Roach, at Kelly, K-E-L-L-Y .Roche, R-O-C-H-E, @lhschools.org, or bring your documents to the Licking Heights District Office, 6539 Summit Road, Pataskala, Ohio, 43062, so the registrar can make copies for your student's file. After completing this form, click Submit. After completing Form A, you will be directed to Form B, Previous School Enrollment and Records Release. On Form B, you must enter if your student has ever attended another school. It is very important you provide this information, as Licking Heights must contact any previous schools to receive your students' transcripts. After completing this form, click Submit. After completing Form B, you will be directed to Form C, Student Language Usage Survey. This form is very important since it shows the district what language you prefer for school communication and what language your children speak at home. This also determines if your child will participate in our English Language Learner program. Required questions on Form C include: 1. What language your family would like to receive school communications in? 2. What language your child first learned? 3. What language your child uses the most at home? 4. What languages are used in your home? 5. What country your child was born in? And 6. If your child has ever received formal education outside of the United States or attended a school in the United States. After completing this form, click Submit. After completing Form C, you will be directed to Form D, Student Services History. This form is very important since it explains any disabilities or special needs your student may have and any accommodations that may be in place for their education. Required questions on Form D include: does your student have a 504 plan? 2. Does your student currently receive support on a 504 plan for any specific disability? And if so, you'll have to describe those disabilities. 3. Does your student have a current IEP? 4. Does your student qualify in a gifted and talented program? 5. Does your student participate in an English Language Learner program? 6. Has your student been previously retained? And 7. Has your student ever been suspended or expelled from another school or school district? After completing this form, click Submit. After completing Enrollment Form D, you'll be directed to General Form A, Health Information and Emergency Medical Authorization. You must now complete the 3 required general forms, which must be updated for each school year after your student is enrolled at Licking Heights. The first required annual form is the Health Information and Emergency Medical Authorization, or EMA form. This form is incredibly important since it shares your students' medical history and what to do in case they have a medical emergency in school. It must be updated each school year. Required questions on the EMA include your student's current doctor and their contact information, your student's medical history, and any current or previous medical conditions. Please note that if your student has allergies, you must then list what they are allergic to. If your student uses an EpiPen, an inhaler, or takes any specific medications. If you give the school permission to get necessary medical treatment for your student in an emergency situation, if you give the school permission to share medical information with teachers and staff if necessary, and if you give permission for your student to receive treatment in the district's Student Health Center, which is located at Licking Heights High School. After you complete the EMA form, click Submit. The second required annual form is the Transportation Request Form. This form only needs to be completed if your student needs to take the bus to and from school. If your student does not need transportation by bus, if your student does need transportation by bus, you must provide if your student will ride the bus in the morning, the afternoon, or both, what days your student will take the bus, and where your student must be both picked up and dropped off. After you complete the transportation form, click Submit. The third and final required annual form is the Permissions and Agreement Form. This form provides necessary permissions for your student, like if your student may use the internet at school, if your student's photo, video, and class work can be used by the district on the Licking Heights website, social media accounts, and the district's newsletters. You must also include on this form if your student has internet connectivity and access to a device that they can access the internet at home. After completing these forms, you are now finished with all required enrollment and general forms needed to enroll your student in the Licking Heights Local Schools District. Remember that you must send all of your required important documents to the school or bring them to the district office before your student's enrollment is final. Once your student's enrollment is complete and all documents are received, you will hear from Licking Heights within 48 hours with all information needed for your student to start school. If you have any questions, please call the district office at 740-927-6926. Thank you.